His broken armor drew laughter, until he took it off and silence gripped the hall captain. Vesh Talroon slammed his taloned fist on the war hall dais. "Sergeant Reed, present yourself in the inspection line. Now." Marcus Reed snapped to attention and marched forward. His boots echoed off the vaulted stone floor. Rows of alien troopers flanked the hall, scaled Krell warriors in polished exosuits, feathered Avari snipers with gleaming rail rifles. All eyes locked on him. He halted at the line's end. His armor hung dented and scarred, chest plate buckled from a plasma graze, left pauldron cracked. No shine, no ceremony. A Krell sergeant lumbered up, mandibles clicking. "Human, that scrap heap offends the Coalition Code. Replace it or stand down." Laughter rippled through the ranks. An Avari lieutenant trilled, "He fights like vermin, claws at shadows. Look at those pits. One hit and he bursts." Vesh leaned forward from the dais, his 4 eyes narrowing. "Sergeant Reed, Coalition regs demand functional gear." "Your human resilience excuses nothing. Issue." Reed met Vesh's gaze, steady. "Armor functions, Captain, fully operational." More jeers. The Krell thrust a claw at Reed's pauldron. "Prove it, Softskin, or crawl back to your dropship." Vesh raised a talon. Silence fell. "The human accepts challenge. Fine. Demonstration slot opens at cycle's end. 1 chance." Reed nodded. "Request 1 empty training lane, 1 timer." Snorts echoed. The Avari lieutenant preened her feathers. "A lane, he begs for mercy space." Vesh's mandibles twitched amusement. "Granted, Lieutenant Sayla Quen, Logistics. You record for the command ledger. Verify results. Dismissed." Troops dispersed in clattering boots and wing flaps. Reed turned for the armory bay. Sayla fell in beside him, her segmented tail flicking. She clutched a data slate, optics whirring focus. "Human protocols baffle me," she said. "Why refuse polish? Coalition standard prevents microfractures." Reed kept pace. "Polish hides damage. Mine shows where it held." She scanned his pauldron. "Held against what?" "Krell plate shatters under less." "Plasma volley, 3 hits." He didn't elaborate. Sayla logged it. "Noted, lane 3 cleared. Timer sync to regulation, gauntlet, obstacles, sim combat, endurance, loop. 90 cycles max. Fail under 80, gear rejected." Reed grunted. "Clear." The training deck hummed alive as they arrived. Hollow barriers flickered up around lane 3, an isolated strip of duracrete scarred by plasma burns and claw gouges. Jagged barricades rose 10 meters. Servo drones whirred overhead, armed with stun bolts and grav pulses. A chrono holo blazed at the start, 0000 ready. Troops gathered at the barriers. Vesh arrived last, arms crossed. "Begin when ready, Sergeant. Ledger watches." Reed stepped to the line. He rolled shoulders, felt the dense shift but hold. No pre-stretch, no ritual. Timer beeped. He exploded forward. First barricade, razor wire coils live currented. He vaulted, boots sparking, cleared in 2 strides. Drones fired stun bolts. He twisted midair, slapped one aside with pauldron. Crack impact spiderwebbed the dent further. Bolt fizzled off. Sayla tapped her slate. "Contact 1, armor integrity holds, anomalous." Krell jeers spiked. "Luck." Second phase, grav pits, floors dropped to 3G sludge. Reed hit running, legs pistoning. Mud sucked at greaves. He powered through, hauling over the lip without pause. Drones dive-bombed. He shoulder-checked one into the pit. It sparked and sank. Vesh leaned in. "Human mass low, expected flail." Timer 0022. Obstacles blurred. Climbing wall, mag clamps optional. Reed free-climbed, fingers gouging holds. A sim turret swiveled, hosed suppressive fire. Bolts pinged his chest plate. Dents absorbed, dispersed kinetic. No breach, Avari chatter hushed. Plate flexes, impossible, hours rigidize. Sayla zoomed her optics. Micro-yield alloy, human design, logging deflection rate 87%. Endurance loop kicked in. Lane looped, repeat gauntlet, fatigue amp rising, drones tripled. Reed cycled once, twice. Breath steady, sweat beaded but no slack. Krell sergeant bellowed, "He conserves, weak core." Third cycle, grav pulses hammered. Reed ducked, rolled, came up firing his sidearm. Drone cores popped 3 down. Pauldron took a direct stun. Armor smoked, he ignored it. Timer 0115, Sayla's tail stiffened. Fatigue markers 0, vitals nominal. Vesh's eyes widened fraction. Push sim max. Full raid protocol. Control console beeped override. Lane shifted, hollow raiders materialized, Corvi-style berserkers, axes whirring vibro edges. 6 hulks charged, mimicking the warlord's raiders. Reed dropped low, first berserker swung overhead. He sidestepped, drove elbow into knee joint hollow. Leg buckled, axe grazed pauldron new gouge, he spun, rifle butt cracked helm, second pair flanked. Reed backpedaled, fired bursts, hollows staggered, one clipped his thigh plate, dent deepened. He pressed, grappled the third, slammed it into barricade. Sparks flew, troops pressed barriers. Avari whispered, he grapples projections, mass sim 200 kilos each. Sayla, damage log, cosmetic only, human armor warps, reforms, efficiency 92%. Timer 0148. Last two berserkers synced assault. Axes crossed. Reed dove between, came up inside guard, punched one's core projector. It flickered out. Second axe arced, he caught haft on forearm guard, twisted, shattered the hollow arm. Final drone swarm hit. Reed whirled, pauldron shearing bolts like foil. He finished prone, rifle barking precise. Timer froze, 01:59:47. Silence crashed. Sayla lowered her slate. Record 199 cycles, 47 ticks, gear certified, exceeds Krell benchmark by 20%. Vesh stepped forward, mandibles agape. How? Dents should fracture under loop stress. Reed stood, chest heaving minimal. He tapped pauldron, dents popped halfback, alloy memory flexing. Human standard, built for prolonged contact, not parade. Krell's sergeant approached, claws flexing respect. Thought restraint meant frailty, that was endurance, Avari lieutenant nodded. We shine for ceremony, you endure for war. Alarms blared sudden, deck shook. Sayla checked comms. Scouts. Corvi vanguard, raiders hit perimeter, targeting weak human flank. Vesh spun to Reed. Sergeant, your lane skills lead counter, prove it live. Reed racked his rifle. Dents gleamed dull under lights. Yes, sir, gears warm. Troops parted as he jogged out. Sayla fell in, slate forgotten. Vesh barked orders, voice edged urgency. Outside, thunder rolled, raider dropship screamed in. Corvi's banner flashed on scopes, axes high, exploiting coalition lines. Reed hit the trench first. His dented armor caught first enemy fire. Bolts sparked harmless. He fired back. One raider dropped, more poured. Coalition held breath. Reed advanced. Reed squeezed the trench lip. Raider bolts scorched the mud beside his boot. He rolled left, rifle up. Sighted the lead enemy, a hulking brute with axe raised, Corvi's black banners whipping on its pauldron. One burst. The brute crumpled, axe burying in dirt. More raiders vaulted the ridge. 10, then 20. Their dropships hung low, engines growling, dumping troops on the weak human flank. Coalition scopes had marked it soft. Reed's dented armor drew their fire first. Sparks flew off his pauldron. He didn't flinch. Flank pinned, Vesh barked over comms from the command trench 50 meters back. Sergeant Reed, hold, reserves inbound. Reed keyed his mic. Holding's dying, sir, advancing. He popped a fresh mag, low crawl forward, mud sucked at his knees. Raider chatter echoed, guttural laughs, axes clanging shields. They targeted him, assuming solo idiocy. A raider leaped down, plasma axe glowing hot. Reed sidestepped, rifle butt cracking its jaw. The alien staggered. He drove elbow into throat plates, felt cartilage crunch. Axe swung wild. Reed ducked, fired point blank. Body slumped. Sayla's voice cut in, sharp from rear lines. Reed, vitals spiking, you're one against platoon, pull back. Negative. He vaulted the body into open scrub. Raiders swarmed the gap, funneling toward coalition core. His gear weighed full, ammo, medkit, hollow arm still humming from lane run. Dents held. Human standard. First raider wave hit hard. Bolts pinged his chest plate. Heat bloomed, but seals held. Reed went prone, rifle barking. 2 down, 3. He rolled, evading axe sweeps. Mud exploded around him. Endurance kicked in, lungs steady, muscles primed from years of sim drills and real hell. Vesh again. Insane, you're drawing all fire. Corvi's lieutenant leads them, see the banner spike. Reed spotted it. Towering raider, twice his bulk, banner pole in one claw, chain gun in the other. It roared, pointing at Reed. Soft meat, public kill for hollows. Chain gun spun up. Reed sprinted zigzag, boots pounding earth. Rounds chewed the ground behind. He dove behind a wrecked scout drone, shrapnel biting his gauntlet. Hollow arm word, projected decoy flares. Fake Reeds popped up, drawing fire. Raiders howled, blasting ghosts. Real Reed flanked left, closing on banner bearer. Coalition troops watched from trenches, Krell claws gripping rails, Avari scopes whirring. Sayla logged data, slate trembling. Flare trick, Vesh muttered over open channel. Human toys, Reed ignored. He ate ground, breath even. Banner spike loomed 20 meters. Lieutenant sprayed suppressive fire. Reed triggered underbarrel grenade. It arced perfect, stuck the banner pole, bloom of fire. Pole shattered, Lieutenant bellowed, blinded. Reed charged, axe met rifle stock, clang. He twisted, jammed barrel under armpit. Burst. Lieutenant dropped, banner trampled. Raiders faltered, 8 left. They rushed en masse, axes high. Reed back to a boulder, rifle cycling hot. 4 down in seconds, ammo low. He switched to sidearm, precise shots cracking visors. Sayla. He's outpacing their medevac. How? Heart rate steady. Vesh. Endurance myth confirmed, but one's not enough. A raider flanked Reed, axe descending. He spun, caught the swing on pauldron, dents deepened. Pain flared, ignored, counterpunch to knee joint. Raider buckled. Reed finished it prone, knife through neck seal. 5 raiders circled. Corvai's dropship hovered, floodlights pinning him. Warlord's voice boomed from speakers. 1 human, coalition sends meat shield. Break him public. Reed grinned under visor, gear hot but reserves full. He triggered distress beacon, not for retreat, for bait. Coalition stirred. Vesh keyed all, Reed's baiting corps, Krell heavies advance, Avari snipers lights out. Krell's sergeant lumbered forward, Gauss cannon humming. Human endures, we crush. Avari beams lanced dropship engines. It listed crashing flames. Raiders split, half on Reed, half turning. Perfect. Reed pushed forward, sidearm emptying 2 more. Last 3 closed, axes whirling. Krell cannon barked. 1 raider vaporized. Avari picked another. Final brute swung at Reed. He parried with hollow arm, energy field shimmered, deflecting blade. Brute stared, stunned. Reed headbutted its visor, crack, followed with boot to groin plate. It dropped. Rifle butt ended it. Silence fell, wreckage smoked. Reed stood amid bodies, scanning. No more drops. Dented armor steamed faintly. He racked empty weapons, popped dents halfway with a flex. Vesh crested the trench, mandibles wide. Sayla right behind, slate beeping. Krell clapped claws, rare honor. Avari lieutenant lowered scope. Sergeant, Vesh said, voice thick. You advance solo, Drew Corvai lieutenant broke their spearhead. Reed wiped mud from visor. Flank secured, sir, gear held. Sayla thrust slate forward. Logs don't lie, he took 80% fire, 0 breaches. Endurance metrics off charts. Coalition command gets this now. Vesh nodded slow. Forwarded but live proof. He eyed the banner shreds. Corvai exploits arrogance, you turned it. Alarms quieted. Med drones hummed in. Reed leaned on rifle, breath steady. Troops gathered, Krell offering water pouch, Avari sharing scan data. Krell's sergeant rumbled, we charge hard, you endure forever, balance. Reed accepted pouch. Together breaks them. Scouts pinged new contacts. Vesh stiffened. Corvai main force. Vanguard was probe. Reed checked mags. Flanks solid now, lead point. Vesh hesitated, then gripped Reed's pauldron, dents firm. Lead, prove it continues. Reed nodded, jogged ahead. Coalition fell in, steps synced. Raiders wouldn't mistake restraint again. Dropship wrecks dotted the ridge. Reed hit first crest. Enemy main loomed, hundreds, Corvai's axes gleaming under moons. Warlord's command skiff hovered central, broadcasting taunts. Coalition scopes locked. Vesh, plan. Reed pointed hollow arm, projected fire lanes. Krell anchors here, Avari high ground. I draw Vanguard again. Sayla, metrics predict 80% success. Human factor pushes 95. Krell laughed gravel. Endurance leads, they surged. Reed broke cover first, rifle singing. Raiders poured fire, his armor sparked. He weaved, grenades flying. Krell cannons roared behind, shredding lines. Avari beams pierced heavies. Corvai's skiff banked, warlord bellowing. The meat returns, axes for all. Reed zeroed a fuel pod. Skiff smoked, dipping. Raiders wavered. 1 brute broke through, axe high. Reed sidestepped, tripped it into Krell path. Cannon flash gone, wave after wave. Reed's world narrowed, fire, mud impacts. Muscles burned clean, no waste. Human standard. Sayla relayed. Casualty dropped 30% since your lead. Commands watching live. Vesh, push. They crested enemy ridge. Corvai's skiff crashed amid raiders. Warlord leaped out, axe massive, eyes locked on Reed. You, it snarled, charging. And the soft one? Coalition halted, breaths held. Reed faced it solo. Warlord towered, swings shattering boulders. Reed dodged, pauldron shearing rock chips. 1 hit grazed his leg, pain lanced, ignored. He circled, hollow arm flaring decoys. Warlord slashed ghosts, roaring. Reed closed, rifle butt to knee. Warlord buckled slight, axe arced down. Reed rolled, fired under barrel into chest vents. Explosion rocked it back. Corvi lunged blind. Reed vaulted, landed on back. Knife plunged seals. Warlord thrashed, fell still. Raiders broke. Coalition mopped remnants. Vesh approached, eyes wide. Warlord, you took him. Reed stood, knife dripping. Reed wiped the knife clean on his thigh plate. Blood smeared, then flaked off. Corvi's corpse steamed in the mud behind him. Coalition troops advanced past, lasers sweeping remnants. Vesh halted inches away, mandibles clicking. Sergeant Reed, you felled the warlord, alone. Reed sheathed the blade. Job's done, Captain. He scanned the ridge. Raiders fled into smoke, no pursuit needed. Sayla Quen's voice crackled over comms. All units consolidate, medevac inbound. Reed, report to Salvage Bay on return. Your armor's flagged critical. Vesh's crest flared. Flagged, he just ended Corvi. Affirmative, Sayla replied. Scans show cracks, no new issue until verified. Hours later, the dropship thudded into base. Reed stepped out, servos whining. His left pauldron hung crooked, leg plate gashed deep. Troops stared as he crossed the hangar. Avari techs logged kills. Krell gunners stacked ammo. Sayla waited by scrap crates, datapad glowing, her frills twitched. Sergeant, armor assessment, 70% integrity. Cracked plates, seized knee joint. New set unavailable. Coalition priority to frontlines. Reed nodded. Understood. She pointed to towering piles of twisted metal. Salvage what fits. Field patches only. Return to duty by dawn. Vesh strode up, polishing his pristine chest plate. Gem-encrusted, it hummed with fresh shields. Quartermaster, this human slew Corvi in that junk. Issue proper gear. Sayla's eyes narrowed. Regulations, Captain. Human frames take standard scrap, no exceptions. She eyed Reed's gashes. Prove it holds or sit out next push. Reed hefted a crate lid. Won't sit. He dragged it to a workbench. Sparks flew as he pried plates free. Vesh snorted. See that? Restraint masks frailty. Humans hoard strength for show. Watch him fail. Sayla logged the assignment. We'll see. Reed worked through the night. Torch hissed. He measured cracks with calipers, cut alloy from a downed Krell drone. Human hand steady, no tremor. Plate 1, weld patch over fracture. Sealant oozed, hardened under UV lamp. Plate 2, grind edges, rivet reinforce. Knee joints seized from Raider shrapnel. He stripped it bare. Vice clamped, files rasped by hand. Gears reformed, lubricated with synth-oil from his pack. No power tools, no waste. Dawn broke. He cycled the joint. Smooth click, flexed pauldron, solid, full suit reassembled, scratched, mismatched, but tight. Troops gathered as he tested seals. Vesh arrived with a squad. Calibration range now, live fire, prove that trash holds human or we strip it. Reed met his gaze. Lead on. The range hummed, targets popped up. Avari rifles charged, Krell cannons primed. Vesh signaled. Controlled bursts, chest, leg, shoulder, standard drill. Sayla stood aside, datapad ready. Regulations require validation. First marksman, Avari beam rifle. Blue lance struck Reed's patched chest, armor sparked. Impact jolted him back a step, no breach, sensors beeped green. Troops murmured, Vesh waved next. Krell cannon, low yield. Reed planted feet, boom, shell grazed pauldron, chips flew, plate held, he straightened, Sayla's frills perked. Integrity 92%. Vesh's mandibles ground. Full sequence, human standard. Squad rotated. Lasers, slugs, grenade, shrapnel sim. Reed took each hit square, weaved minimal. Body absorbed recoil, human core tight. Patches glowed hot, cooled fast, joint word flawless under torque. Final shot, Vesh's own sidearm. Plasma bolt to the knee. Sizzle, armor blackened. Reed knelt, rose smooth. Clear. Silence, Sayla scanned. Full certification exceeds baseline. Vesh stared, crest flat. House scrap and hand tools. Reed unclasped helmet, sweat beaded but breath even. Fix what's broke, save new for when it counts. Troops shifted. Krell grunted approval. Avari nodded. Alarms blared. Command net. Corvi's lieutenants rally. Second wave inbound. All units muster. Vesh clapped Reed's shoulder, gentle. Gear up, Sergeant. Your lead on point. Reed racked rifle. Copy. Sayla fell in beside him. I logged the repair coalition-wide. He nodded. No words needed. Dropship ramp dropped. They charged into fire once more, but now eyes watched Reed different, not trash, unbroken. Reed sighted first Raider skiff. Trigger pull. Fuel pod burst. Craft spiraled. Vesh over comms. Flank secure. Push. Krell cannons thundered support. Avari beams sliced heavies. Human weave pulled them through. Lieutenant snarled from the lead ship. For Corvi, the soft meat dies. Reed dodged axes. Grenade out. Cluster bloomed. Brutes shredded. Sayla vectored supplies. Ammo drop confirmed. Your fixes held. Wave crested. Reed vaulted wreckage. Knife ready. They broke the line. Back at base, Vesh reviewed footage. That armor, human way. Sayla smiled faint. Quiet competence. We missed it. War drums echoed distant. More came. Reed cleaned gear. Ready. Captain Vesh Talroon paced the command deck. Hollow maps flickered red. Raider remnants massed beyond sensor range. Lieutenants avenge Corvi. They target us, the weak link. Reed stood silent, armor gleaming patched. Vesh halted. Sergeant, your suit saved you, saved us. What else do humans hide? Reed checked mags. Just do the job, sir. Sayla entered. Resupply approved, full kit for Reed's platoon. Vesh nodded sharp. Earned. Alarms wailed again. Contact multiple skiffs. Reed moved first. Troops followed, no contempt now, respect forged in fire. Lieutenant's axe swung wide. Reed parried with rifle, buttstroke cracked helm. Down, coalition poured fire. Human grit pulled victory close. One lieutenant broke through, towered over Reed. You killed the warlord now. Reed sidestepped. Knife flashed. Seals popped. Giant dropped. Vesh fired the kill shot. Together. They held the ridge, word spread. Coalition channels buzzed, human proved, never mistake restraint. Warlord's shadow lingered, but Reed's shadow grew. Next dawn, new orders. Deeper strike, Reed led, armor patched perfect. They followed. Captain Vesh jabbed a claw at the flickering holomap. Sergeant Reed, your squad plugs that pass. Hold it until the main force retreats through. Reed snapped a salute, eyes on the red blips massing beyond the narrow defile. His patched armor hummed as he turned. Squad on me, double time. The mixed platoon, 6 aliens from 3 species plus 2 humans fell in behind. Gravel crunched under boots. Distant thunder rolled, enemy skiffs probing the line. Coalition retreat horns blared, no time for speeches. They hit the pass at a sprint. Jagged cliffs funneled the wind, whipping dust into Reed's visor. He dropped his pack, unslung the rifle. Positions. Creeks on high ground left. Vorn right. Human center with me, eyes out. LT, Sayla Quen, tagging along from logistics, hesitated at the rear, her mandibles clicked. Sergeant, resupply drops won't reach here for hours. You're light on ammo. Reed checked his mag pouches. Half loads, we'll make it count. He waved her to cover. Stay low, Lieutenant. She nodded, scanner in claws, and hunkered behind a boulder. Scouts crested the ridge opposite. Raider skiffs whined low, disgorging hulking figures in spiked plate. Banners snapped, Corvi's claw mark. The warlord himself leaped down last, axe gleaming, eyes locked on the pass. Reed's radio crackled, Vesh's voice. Enemy commander spotted. Corvi, he eyes your line, Reed, looks for the weak point. Reed grinned under his helmet. Humans. Always the soft target. Copy, setting the trap. Raiders charged. Plasma bolts scorched rock. Reed's squad opened up. Vorn plasma cannons barked, chewing the front rank. Creeks sniped from ledges, needles punching joints. Corvi bellowed, voice amplified. The weaklings hold the gap. Break them. Take the human first. 50 meters out, raiders veered toward Reed's position. They saw the battered human armor, the lone figure in the center. Easy kill for glory. Reed didn't flinch. He fired controlled bursts, dropping 2. A bolt grazed his shoulder plate, patched seams held. Hold fire till my signal, the warlord roared laughter. See, he stands alone, flank him. Raiders split, 20 peeling left, 20 right, closing the noose. Corvi barreled straight, axe raised for the public trophy. Plasma slashed past Reed. A Vorn gunner slumped, chest cord. Creek sniper screamed, leg shattered. 2 aliens down in seconds. Reed vaulted forward, grabbed the Vorn by his harness, dragged him behind a shattered pillar. Blood gushed from the torso wound, green ichor everywhere. No time for med gel. Reed yanked field tourniquet from his belt, looped it high on the limb stump, cranked tight. Ichor slowed to a drip. Vorn gasped, mandibles twitching thanks. Next, the creek, leg mangled, bone jutting. Reed hauled him back, ignoring the claws raking his armor. Second tourniquet sealed the artery. Stay put, bleed out later if you move. Creek hissed gratitude, rifle up again. Raiders closed to 30 meters. Corvi smashed a boulder aside, eyes fixed on Reed. Human meat. Reed rolled into the open. Rifle barked. Corvi's pauldron sparked, but he shrugged it off. Too tough. Squad wavered. Aliens glanced at Reed, doubt flickered. Reed signaled, fists crossed, then swept wide. Crossfire, Creeks and Vorn pivoted, held bursts. Raiders funneled into the kill zone, the narrow gut between cliffs. Reed popped smoke from his launcher. Gray clouds billowed, choking sensors. Raiders plunged blind. Where is he? Now Reed slashed his arm down. Fire! Hell unleashed. Vorn cannons hosed the smoke. Creek needles pierced armor gaps. Human rifles stitched the mass. Reed's squadmates synced perfect suppressive bursts. Raiders stalled, piled in the haze, screams echoed. Corvi burst through, axe swinging wild. Smoke swirled off his plates. He towered over Reed, blade arcing down. Reed sidestepped. Rifle butt cracked the warlord's knee joint. Metal buckled, Corvi staggered, axe whooshed past. Filth! Reed dropped low, knife out, vibro edge hummed, slashed the warlord's thigh actuator. Seals popped. Hydraulics sprayed. Corvi toppled to one knee, grabbed for Reed, too slow. Reed drove the knife into the armpit seal, twisted. Warlord spasmed, axe clattering, raiders faltered. Their boss down. Smoke cleared on a charnel pit, 30 corpses stacked. Survivors broke. Skiffs revved, fleeing the pass. Reed stood over Corvi. Warlord gasped, clawing at the wound. How? Restraint for weakness. Restraint saves strength. Reed kicked the axe away, rifle to the helm, single shot, clean kill, squad cheered. Vorn clapped Reed's shoulder hard enough to dent lesser armor. Creek saluted with his good arm. Sayla Quen emerged, scanner beeping. Casualties minimal, ammo expenditure, efficient. You turn their arrogance against them. Reed reloaded. Standard drill. He eyed the pass. Retreat horns still blew. Main force inbound. Radio crackled. Vesh, Reed, report. Hold complete, sir. Pass clear. Corvi down. Silence. Then, confirmed on scopes. Squad, fall back through. You've bought us the ridge. Platoon moved. Aliens carried their wounded. Sayla walked beside Reed. Captain doubted your kit. Now he requisitions human standard tourniquets for all. Reed nodded. Good. Saves lives. They cleared the pass as the coalition column thundered through. Vesh waited at the far end, optics wide. He gripped Reed's forearm, alien salute. Sergeant, we mistook quiet for frail. Your hands. They weave death from calm. Reed met his gaze. Just the job, Captain. Vesh's mandibles flexed respect. Deeper now, Raiders mass again, your lead. Reed checked his squad. Patched armor gleamed. Aliens stood taller, eyes sharp. Drums echoed from the dark. More came. Reed advanced. They followed. Skiffs screamed over the next ridge. Vesh's voice barked orders. Reed signaled flanks. Cycle repeated. But this time the coalition hummed human signals. Learned fast, Raiders hit hard. Lead skiff exploded midair, Vorn cannon timed perfect. Reed dragged a fallen Creek again, tourniquet sealed. Up! Enemy champion charged, banner high, aimed for Reed once more, predictable, crossfire trapped him, axe wielder shredded. Sayla called ammo counts. Humans conserve best, Vesh laid suppressive fire. Reed's trap works. They pushed forward, ridge secured, night fell, campfires flickered. Sayla handed Reed a ration pack. Full resupply inbound, your methods approved. He ate in silence. Gear cleaned, knife sharpened, Vesh approached. Warlords, lieutenants rally, they call you Ghost Killer. Reed shouldered his rifle. Let them. Dawn broke, holomap updated, enemy core whirled in reach. Vesh pointed. There, strike deep. Reed let out, squad tight, no hesitation. Raiders ambushed the trail, skiffs dove. Reed vaulted a wreck, knife ready. Flanks, aliens executed, plasma met bullets, trap sprung, one lieutenant broke through, towered, axe swung. For Corvi, Reed parried with rifle, buttstroke cracked helm, giant reeled. Coalition fire poured, lieutenant dropped, Vesh fired the kill shot. Together! They crested the rise, valley below swarmed, word spread on channels, human proved, never anger the quiet ones. Reed's shadow lengthened, war called, enemy drums pounded closer, skiffs massed. Reed checked mags, squad ready. Charged, the pass had been the proving ground. Now the war bent to human grit, lieutenant's skiff roared in. Cannon swiveled on Reed, he rolled. Grenade lobbed, bloom of fire, Vesh covered. Captain Vesh Talroon slammed his talon on the hollow console. Sergeant Reed, front and center in the war hall, now. Reed snapped to attention outside the command skiff. His squad froze mid-reload. The human shouldered his rifle without a word. He marched toward the glowing archway of the war hall, boots crunching alien gravel. Vesh watched from the raised dais. Officers from 3 coalition species packed the chamber, scaled Krell warriors, feathered avians, chitin-plated Vorath. All eyes locked on the human. Whispers hissed through translators, non-standard gear. Primitive, weak. Sayla Quen stood at Vesh's side. Her logistics tablet flickered with resupply logs. She glanced at Reed's battered plates dented from the pass ambush. No upgrades, no ceremony. Explain yourself, Vesh demanded. His voice boomed off vaulted walls. Your armor violates Coalition regs, broken plates, no power assist. Why do you shame us with this scrap? Reed halted 10 paces from the dais. He stood straight. No salute, no excuses. The hall leaned in. Speak, human, a Krell major snarled. Or are you mute as your tech? Reed's hands moved to his chest plate, clips unlatched with sharp clicks. Silence hit harder than any insult. Plates thudded to the floor, revealing scarred flesh beneath. Gasps rippled. Lattice of old wounds crisscrossed his torso, burns from plasma vents, slashes from vibro blades, punctures from shrapnel storms. Compression wraps bound ribs and thighs, soaked dark with fresh blood. The past fight had torn them open. Vesh's crests flared. He fought the lieutenant like that? Axe swings cracking bone? Medic, Vesh barked. A Vorath surgeon scuttled forward, scanner whining to life. The device hummed over Reed's body. Hollow readout projected, heart rate steady at 72, adrenaline suppressed, pain blockers. None detected. Neural feedback screamed overload, equivalent to 3 shattered limbs on a Krell. Yet metrics spiked green, combat ready. Recovery projection 87% in 48 hours. The medic's mandibles clicked. Impossible. Human baseline exceeds tolerances. He endures. Silence crushed the hall. No jeers, no laughter. Sayla tapped her tablet. Logs confirm. Reed took that axe hit to the flank, parried, butt-stroked the giant, led the charge, all while these wounds wept. Vesh stared. The human's eyes stayed level. No flinch, no boast. Just quiet readiness. You fought the ambush injured? Vesh's voice dropped. Why hide it? Reed shrugged one shoulder. Saves strength, gears light, moves fast, fixes itself in the field. Avians murmured. Krell nodded slow. The major who sneered earlier crossed arms. Respect etched his scales. Vesh stepped down. He picked up a fallen plate. Human welds, crude, strong. Bulletproof weave underneath, layered from battlefield scraps. No coalition fabber needed. Non-standard, Vesh said. But effective. Your methods secured the pass. Word spreads, ghost killer. Reed clipped one plate back. Warlord skiffs mass, drums close, gear up, Captain. The hall erupted in orders. Officers scrambled to holomaps. Sayla handed Reed a fresh wrap kit. Approved, all of it. Vesh gripped Reed's shoulder. Human muscle didn't yield. Together, we strike the valley. Reed nodded. Squad formed behind him. They marched out as one. Skiffs screamed overhead. Warlord Corvai's lieutenants rallied in the swarming valley below. Coalition dropships punched through cloud cover. Vesh's command unit hit dirt first. Reed's squad fanned flanks. Suppressors on the ridges, Vesh shouted. His plasma rifle spat azure bolts. Raiders charged, hulking brutes in spiked harnesses, axes glowing hot. Skiffs dove, cannons chewing earth. Reed vaulted a crater. His rifle cracked precise, headshots dropping gunners. Flank left, grenades, aliens executed. Krell heavies laid suppressing fire, shaking the ground. Avians swooped, talons raking skiff engines. A lieutenant's beast roared through smoke. Tusked horror Corvai's mark on its flank. Cannon swiveled on Reed. He rolled, grenade arced perfect. Bloom of fire shredded the mount. Rider tumbled, axe high. Vesh covered, plasma lanced the beast's eye. It crashed dead. Push, Reed yelled, squad tight, no hesitation. Sayla vectored ammo drops from orbit. Humans conserve best, pods inbound. Raiders faltered. Coalition fire poured, valley choked with wrecks. Corvai's banner loomed on the far ridge. Drums thundered. His warband massed, thousands, skiffs blotting sky. Vesh keyed comms. All units deep strike, human lead. Reed checked mags. Compression wraps held, scars itched, ignored. He let out. Squad matched pace. Enemy skiffs dove in waves. One clipped an avian wingman. Feathers rained. Trail breach, Sayla called. Her logistics drone buzzed warnings. Reed spun, knife flashed. Raider boarding pod cracked open, 3 berserkers spilled. He met the first mid-leap. Rifle butt cracked skull. Second axe swung wild. Reed parried with forearm guard. Bone crunched under wrap. He drove knife up through jaw. Third hesitated. Coalition fire vaporized it. Vesh arrived. Reed. Clear. Human wiped blade. Blood trickled from his fresh split. They crested the subridge. Corvai's elites guarded the banner, towering enforcers, vibro axes humming. Form up, Vesh ordered. Krell heavies thumped forward. Reed flanked right, silent, rifle barked. Elite dropped, helm pierced. Axe-wielder charged him, towered twice human height. For the warlord, Reed dodged low, axe bit rock. He rolled under, knife severing hamstrings. Giant toppled. Rifle finished it, 3 rounds to the neck. Vesh's plasma carved left flank. Human trap now, Sayla triggered drones, ammo pods slammed enemy lines, explosives chained, raiders broke, drums stuttered, Corvi bellowed from his throne skiff, cannon batteries swiveled, shells rained. Down, Reed shoved Vesh into cover. Blast wave hurled debris. Human popped up. Grenade launcher barked, shells bloomed in enemy ranks. Coalition pushed, avians strafed skiffs. Voreth medics patched on the fly. One elite broke through. Axe cleaved a Krell arm. It roared, firing back. Reed vaulted, tackled the brute. They rolled, Axe pinned his leg, Rap tore. Pain flared, logged, and ignored. He headbutted the helm, cracked visor, knife plunged. Elite gurgled down, Vesh hauled him up. Vitals, ready. Reed limped forward. Squad covered, banner close, Corvi stood. His personal guard formed wall, dozen primes armored like tanks. Charge! Vesh yelled. Reed led, bullets chipped prime shields. He closed gap. Knife ready, first prime swung. Reed ducked. Rifle stock shattered its knee. Plasma from Vesh burned the follow-up. Sayla dropped a heavy pod. Resupply humans first. Mags swapped. They hit the line. Primes fell. Axes clattered. Corvi snarled, drawing dual blades. His skiff engines whined. Escape vector. Not today. Reed lobbed last grenade. Skiff listed, crashing short. Coalition swarmed. Vesh fired killshot into the cockpit. Corvi slumped. Valley fell silent. Drums stopped. Raiders rooted. Officers cheered. Sayla scanned Reed. Pain metrics off charts, still green. Vesh clasped Reed's arm. Ghost killer, Coalition's blade. Reed shouldered rifle. Scars hidden again under plates. War's not done. Core world next. Holomap updated. Enemy heart pulsed red. Squad tightened. Skiffs massed horizon. Drums echoed faint. Human shadow led the advance. Never anger the quiet ones. Truth bent the war. Explosions shattered the night. Reed rolled from his bunk, rifle gripped tight. Shrapnel pinged off the depot's alloy walls. Alarms screamed. Raiders inbound. Ammo stacks hit. He slammed his helmet seal. Smoke poured through the vents. Outside, skiffs howled low, Corvi's mark on every hull. Primal drums thundered over the blasts. Coalition troops scrambled, plasma rifles spitting wild bursts into the dark. Captain Vesh Talroon barked from the command blister. His mandibles snapped. Defensive lines. Hold the stacks. Sayla Quen vectored drones, her screens flickering red. Raider elites swarmed the perimeter, axes gleaming under flare bursts. They targeted the high-yield munitions, detonator packs rigged for chain reaction. Reed pushed through the chaos. A logistics drone sparked past him, gutted. He sidestepped a stumbling Kresh trooper, its shield fritzed. Vesh's voice cut the comms. Human, Reed, your kind claims stealth expertise, prove it. Reed reached the blister. Vesh loomed, his ornate carapace scarred from prior clashes. Corvi's brutes breached the east stacks. Detonator case, priority alpha, armed and timing down, 10 minutes or the depot's slag. Reed scanned the hollow. Map glitched, outdated contours from last cycle's surveys. Raider icons pulsed inside the smoke wall. Team! Vesh thrust 4 lancers at him, 2 Kresh grunts, a twitchy sniper, and a hulking demo specialist. Minimal gear, no heavies. That's it, no more, move silent or don't return, clocks ticking. The aliens shifted, mandibles clicking doubt. Reed checked his mags, low light amp engaged. Stack on me, no lights, follow my clears. They plunged into the smoke. Reed led low, boots silent on grit. Drums pounded closer, visibility 0. His visor pierced the haze, thermal ghosts ahead. First corner, 2 raiders hauling charges. He sliced left, knife flashing, throat cut. Second spun, Reed drove elbow into helm, snapped neck. Clean, clear. Lancers froze a beat, then hustled. Smoke choked the stacks. Crates loomed like tombs. Raider patrols ghosted between. Reed signaled halt. Pinned a trio dragging the case, black alloy box, red timer blinking 7:42. He flanked wide, no sound. Grenade lobbed soft. Flashbang popped. Blinded, they thrashed. Reed closed. Rifle butt caved first skull. Knife gutted second. Third charged axe high. Reed sidestepped, tripped it into a crate spike. Case secure. Demo grunted approval, clamping it shut. Intact. Timer paused. Lancers exhaled vents. 6 minutes left, Reed said. Corvi's here. Cut him off. Drums swelled. Skiff engines whined from the rally yard. Reed vectored them through vents, bypassing patrols. He cleared 4 more corners, 2 with suppressed bursts, 2 hand-to-hand. Raider blood slicked his plates. Pain tugged his old leg wound, ignored. Aliens matched pace now, shields up. Rally yard opened. Corvai's skiff idled, ramps down. The warlord bellowed orders, his guard, 8 primes in tank plating, loading slaves and loot. Escape vector plotted, north ravine. Reed dropped prone. Flank left, pin the ramps. No chase, Sniper queried. Kill the boss, Reed shook head. Block out, force retreat. They spread. Reed crawled forward, smoke his cloak. Primes scanned blind. He planted charges on the ravine mouth, narrow pass, perfect choke. Demo mirrored on east exit. Lancers fired disciplined, plasma lancing skiff legs, not cockpits. Corvai roared, axes swung at shadows. His guard charged the lancers. Reed rose, rifle barked, shields chipped precise. One prime lunged. Reed vaulted crate, landed on back. Knife pried neck seal, it dropped. Second swung low. He rolled under, fired up through visor. Dead, skiff powered hot. Corvai boarded last, blades dripping. Drums faltered. Guard retreated to ramps under fire. Reed hit detonator on charges. Ravine mouth collapsed, boulders sealed north. East blast funneled them back. Skiff slewed, trapped. Corvai snarled over external. Filth, coalition cowards hide behind slaves. Primes formed wedge, pushing for breach. Reed led counter. Concentrate fire, plasma converged. Shields buckled. Primes fell back, 2 smoking hulks. Skiff strained, engines whining futile. Corvai's voice cracked. Fall back, regroup. Raiders disengaged, dragging wounded. Skiff lifted erratic, scraping depot wall before bolting south. Raven-rooted, no kills claimed. Drums faded. Yard smoked quiet. Reed hefted the case. Lancers regrouped, vents heaving. 8 minutes, Sniper said. Map light on vents. Back at blister, Vesh stared. Sayla scanned the case. Intact, timers disarmed, ammo stacks safe. She eyed Reed's vitals feed. Human. Your suit logs no fatigue markers. Through that? Vesh's mandibles stilled. He scanned the Lancers' reports. Ghost path, no lights, primes rooted without pursuit. Pride cracked his voice. You cornered the warlord, forced his flight. Reed stripped his mags, reloaded calm. Escape routes first, kills chase. Pain throbbed now, logged secondary. He shouldered rifle. Sayla forwarded logs up chain. Coalition command sees this, human methods, efficient. Vesh clasped his shoulder plate, rare gesture. SGT, Reed, lead the vanguard, next push. Core world awaits. Reed nodded. Hollow updated, Corvai's fleet massed horizon, red pulse stronger, drums echoed distant. Small team Titan ranks behind him, raiders learned slow, coalition faster, quiet ones cut deepest. Captain Vesh Talroon slammed his gauntlet on the war hall's command dais. Hollow screens flickered to life across the vaulted chamber. Coalition officers from 5 species snapped to attention, their feeds linking from forward bases. Drums echoed faint from the horizon, Corvai's raiders probing again. Logs submitted, Vesh announced. His voice boomed through the translators. Sergeant Reed's action at Depot Gamma, primes rooted, warlord's skiff fled intact, ammo cache secured. Murmurs rippled. A Kalari admiral's frills quivered. Human, the quiet one with battered gear, logs confirm no pursuit. Vesh keyed the replay. Ghost paths lit the hollow, vents mapped wrong, shadows exploited. Plasma converged, hulks smoked. 8 minutes, 0 coalition casualties. Sayla Quen's feed patched in sharp. Her logistics crest gleamed under blister lights. I testify. Reed repaired 3 skimmers mid-alert, plasma seals, motivators, timings, 2 minutes per. Saved my crew from bleed-out with field clamps. No protocols broken. Results, depot held. The Admiral's frills flattened. Efficient but political dismissal pending. Coalition High Command flags unorthodox restraint as weakness. Gear logs show his armor at 23% integrity. Primes targeted him first. Vesh's mandibles tensed. He scanned the feeds. Lancers' reports stacked. Reed's vitals flat, no fatigue spikes through hellsmoke. Restraint won the breach. Corvai fled without kills. Sayla leaned forward. Casualty saves, 4 Lancers, 2 from my quarter. He disarmed, trip mines blind. Human methods scale. Dismissal risks the push. A murmur swelled. Vesh overrode it. Proposal, field recognition. Grant Reed ceremonial armor. Mark him vanguard lead. Hollow votes tallied green. The Admiral nodded. Approved. Summon the human. Vesh signaled the blister guard. Doors hissed. Sergeant Marcus Reed strode in. His rifle slung low, mags fresh loaded. Armor scarred, no polish. Lancers trailed loose behind him, vent still hot from patrol. The hall stilled. Officers eyed the human stride, steady, unhurried. No salute flare. Vesh stood tall. Sergeant Reed. Coalition command honors your route of Corvai's primes. Step forward. Reed halted at the dais. His eyes scanned the holofleet massing red on horizon. Drums pulsed louder. "New armor awaits," Vesh said. A tech drone hummed forward, bearing a pristine Coalition exosuit, shields phased, crests etched. "Wear it, lead the core world vanguard." Reed glanced at the suit, then at his lancers. One nursed a plasma burn, another checked med patches low. "No," Reed said, flat. "Decline the grant." Gasps rippled. Sayla's crest flared, the Admiral's frills spiked. Vesh leaned in. "Explain." "Armor shines for ceremony," Reed said. "Suits parades, my team's skimmers leak. Med kits empty, coagulants short for Kalari bleeds. Spare parts, motivators, seals. For the whole unit, keeps everyone alive." Silence crushed the hall. Vesh's sensors pinged his own pulse spike. Humans fixed squads first. No boasts, Sayla broke in. "Quartermaster confirms, shortages hit 40%. Reed's fixes bridged it." The Admiral's feed crackled. "Bold." "Practical requisition approved double for human vanguard." Vesh straightened. Pride swelled his chest plates. This quiet biped turned contempt to steel. "Sergeant, no, Lieutenant Reed, field commission, effective now." He turned to the hall. "All rise." "Honor the human who cornered Corvi." Chairs scraped. Officers stood, mandibles wide, frills high, crests bowed. Drones recorded for command net. Reed nodded once, no smile. He shouldered his rifle. "Vanguard preps, escape routes first." Vesh clasped Reed's shoulder, grip firm. "Lead true, core world falls to us." Reed exited with his team. Doors sealed. Hollow updated. Corvi's fleet swelled, skiffs massing for dawn strike. Sayla lingered on feed. He logged pain secondary, through vents, smoke, human endurance. Vesh dismissed the hall. Officers filed out buzzing. He pulled Reed's full logs, vitals flat. Decisions chained, vents, fire lanes, spares, no waste. Drums thundered closer. Vesh keyed the armory. "Double med kits to Vanguard, parts priority." A Kalari major paused at the hatch. "Captain." "You stood first." Vesh's mandibles clicked. He earned it, quiet cuts deepest. Lieutenant Marcus Reed ducked into the blister bay. Lancers swarmed skimmers, torches flaring on leaks. Sniper wiped soot from scope. "Armor snub, ballsy LT." "Shine draws fire," Reed said. He cracked a med kit, sorted coagulants. Pain throbbed in his ribs, cracked plate from prime stomp. Logged low, ignored. Sayla Quinn approached, crate drones trailing. "Parts inbound, your request routed fleet-wide." Her crest tilted. "First fair witness." "You fixed my impossible shortages." Reed nodded, loaded a motivator. "Team first, holes kill." She scanned his armor. 23% logged, through that, no fatigue." "Save strength," he said, torqued the seal. Skimmer hummed alive, Vesh's voice patched. "Vanguard, dawn push." "Corvi masses South Ridge, primes lead." Reed hefted his rifle. "Escape routes mapped, concentrate fire." Lancers mounted, engines whined hot, hollow pinged, raider drums peaked. Sayla clasped his arm, rare for logistics. "Prove them wrong again." Reed gunned the lead skimmer. Dust billowed, "We prove alive." Vesh watched the Vanguard peel out from command blister. Reeds wedged tight, flanks screened, vents plotted. Hollow tracks ghosted ahead, officers crowded his dais. "Human leads after snub," Vesh keyed replays. "Watch," skimmers ghosted ridges. No drums answered yet. Then plasma flares south, primes charged. Reed's voice cracked open channel. "Concentrate," converged bolts, shields buckled, hulks smoked. Kalari major whistled. "Ghosted them." Skiff engines whined, Corvi fleeing again, no kills. Vesh's mandibles spread. "Logs forward, all units, human methods standard." Fleet hollow pulsed red stronger, core world loomed. Drums faded but not gone, raiders learned slow. Coalition woke fast. Dawn broke harsh over the ridge. Reed's skimmer crested, vents venting steam. Lancers fanned precise, no bunching. Sniper pinged. "Primes 3 skiff backline." "Flank low," Reed ordered. "Med kits front track." Plasma lanced, shields sparked. A lancer grunted, bleed clamped fast. Reed shouldered rifle, sighted the skiff. "Fire!" Bolts punched. Engine smoked. Corvi's roar cracked translators. "Regroup." They held the ridge. Casualties 0, Sayla patched. "Parts held, you held." Reed scanned horizon, fleet mass thicker. "Next push, everyone alive." Quiet ones cut deepest. Warlord's drums stuttered silent for now.